world's most incompetent commander-in-chief of armed forces, Buhari can't defend future commanders, activist Showore. Human rights activist Omele Showore has described Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari as the most incompetent commander-in-chief of any armed force in the world, So Showore noted this on Tuesday against a backdrop of an attack by bandits on the Nigerian Defense Academy, Afaka, in Kaduna State earlier in the day. The gunmen invaded the Afaka barracks of the academy at around 1 a.m., killing 2 soldiers identified as Lieutenant Commodore Wola and Flight Lieutenant Okoronwo, and abducting Major Stephen Dantong. A source later told Sahara reporters that the kidnappers had contacted the military authorities to demand a ransom of 200 million naira. They contacted ACA, which is what we call NDA, to demand 200 million naira for ransom for the officer. An officer told Sahara reporters on condition of anonymity. One of the officers who was injured in the attack is currently being treated at a hospital within the barracks. Tweeting on Tuesday, Showore said, Muhammadu Buhari is the most incompetent commander-in-chief of any armed force in the whole wide world. This Fumbler can't even defend his future commanders. #revolution now, #Buhari must go. The latest attack is just one of many attacks by terrorists and bandits on civilians and military facilities in the country. For instance, on February 19, 2018, about 113 schoolgirls were kidnapped by Boko Haram terrorists at a government secondary school in Dapchi, Yobe State. Most of the girls were later released, while a few died. One of them, Leah Sharibu, is still a captive, refusing to renounce her faith. On December 11, 2020, some gunmen attacked the government boys' science secondary school in Kankara, Lagos. In Kankara local government area of Katsina State, not Lagos, and abducted 344 students. Less than a week after the Kankara schoolboys were released, 80 pupils were kidnapped at Islamic school in Mahuta, Katsina State. On February 2021, some bandits abducted 27 students at the government science college in Kagara. Later that month, bandits kidnapped 317 female students of the government girls' secondary school, Jangebe, Zamfara State. On March 12, 2021, some gunmen abducted 27 students of the Federal College of Forestry, Mechanization, Afaka, Kaduna State. The students were released nearly 2 months after their abduction. And now in June, not even now, but most recent, in June 2021, bandits kidnapped 8 students and some lecturers at Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic, Zaria, Kaduna State. So, of course, towards the end of the article, it just gives even more evidence to prove why Buhari is very much an incompetent commander-in-chief of armed forces, and it's shameful for someone who has actually spent a lot of time in the military. That's it. Somebody else says, sorry, you're under arrest for saying the truth. That is the true nature of Nigeria. Though I am not in support of incompetency as a leader, that doesn't make you activist the right person to lead. Activism stands in between without handling a position. The likes of Adams Oshomole tried and failed. Immediately he was elected as a governor. We have leaders, we have activists, don't get it twisted, but if you want to lead, then you have to start from the grassroots and see your competency before throwing. I'm not even going to listen to that. If you're going to talk about him as a leader, honestly, call him whatever you want, but he is not in any position where he's obliged to serve the Nigerian people. He's doing it out of his own convenience and doing it out of his own will. Buhari, sounds harsh, but we don't care what his personal life is. His job is to take care of Nigerians, and he's not doing so. In fact, he's failing at such. In fact, he's not just failing. There is literally no standard to measure what he has achieved with other administrations, because he has done nothing. So this is where it's not even lack of competency, because if he's incompetent, then we can assume that he has actually done some things, been proactive, but then it didn't yield the right or effective results, then we can say, okay, fine, doing that consistently makes you incompetent. But then not even doing anything at all doesn't give us anything to judge on and say, actually, the way this and this was handled is incompetent. So it is what it is. But you coming for sure, and basically your argument is, do you have leadership skills? Before you start talking about leadership skills, do not throw stones at Buhari. But your argument does not make sense. Buhari is obliged, whether he likes it or not, whether he's eating, whether he's rested, he's obliged to take care of the people. That's it. Somebody says, what would be the future of Nigeria about this present government in 2060? Nigerian bandits conflict, rise and fall of Abakari, kidnapping of Kanu, West African rebel and arms, money theft, evacuation of people and student, government and parent. Sad, because with everything that's happening, it's like it's young children. Of course, we know Boko Haram is against Western education and bandits. Obviously, all these interlinked, but the fact is, it's children, the actual future of the northern extraction, that they're suffering the most, and it shouldn't be. It's very much, obviously, look at how consistent it is, and you're observing. It's like, okay, fine, this is very much intentional to specifically target school kids. Don't make sense at all. If this attack was in the east, the useless military will go into the streets to arrest and kill innocent people and tag them unknown gunmen. They've done that before. It's not surprising, of course. It's like, depending on where they are or depending on where things happen, it's just such a sad. Somebody says, words like failure, incompetence, slow poke, calamity, disaster, famine should be replaced with the name Buhari. I mean, that very true. It will encapsulate everything, every single thing, as in it would just make sense. Just to mention Buhari, we would know what you are talking about. Someone says, a very mumu man. You are together, that force. Okay, I'm not saying. Someone says he has said he will change from being a failure to a non-failure before he leaves office. What? Buhari is not incompetent or dull. He knows very well what he's doing. Colonization and Sharia rule is his main agenda. Even though it has not been blatant, if you're going to observe, what this person has said is not really a far-fetched comment. It's not like as if he's reaching, trying to reach for something. There's evidence and there's also observations to prove and suggest that, Buhari's pro-Fulani agenda is overriding everything else. Not that you should not be pro-Fulani, but you can't be anti-everything else. Because you just can't. Because you're not serving Fulanis only. But what do you think? Don't forget to like and subscribe.